All right, long shot parlay for UFC Fight Night, Cannonier versus Borralho. And I'm going to do a little update on some of the short notice replacements. I think there's a couple of fights, actually, that weren't on my original prediction video, so I'll go over those real quick. So here we go. DraftKings Longshot Parlay. As you can see, here's the lineup. I'm going to go over these real quick. Kong Wang, minus 1,200. Way too wide. Definitely shouldn't be that big of a favorite. But I do think she's going to win. As long as her grappling is remotely decent and she can defend takedowns, she should win this fight. Maybe a stoppage. I don't know if she has that kind of firepower. It could go to a decision, but Victoria, she's gotten TKO'd by much lesser strikers, so I'm just going to go Kong Wang money line. Not much value. It is risky because it's, like I said, the lines are way too wide, but hey, fuck it. Kong Wang. Borralho, Longtop over 1.5 rounds at minus 210. Now, I did pick Longtop. I'm not confident in that because he sucks, but Borralho has no chin. So it's basically a fight where Borralho is the more skilled striker. He's the more overall skilled fighter. But I just can't trust him because he doesn't really have a chin. So I did pick James Longtop as an underdog. Although, I could see a world where Borralho kind of just picks him apart for 3 rounds to a decision, which is why on this parlay I went with over 1.5 rounds. I think that's pretty safe. Borralho, while he is chinny, he is tough, and if he does get hurt, he can survive and, scramble out of things. So that's why I think this 1.5 rounds, over 1.5 rounds at minus 210 is pretty good. So I'm going to go with that. The next one is Zach Reese to win by knockout or sub. Basically, Zach Reese to get a finish at minus 340. I think he is probably going to submit him. Medina is tough. All of Zach Reese's wins are in the first round. But I don't know. I could see Medina, making out of the first round, making Zach Reese work for it a little more. I do see Zach Reese kind of piecing him up on the feet and then realizing, oh shit, this guy has a chin. He's pretty tough. And then I do think Zach Reese is going to get a takedown at some point and probably just end up submitting him. So yeah, I'm going to go Zach Reese by finish at minus 340. Next one, Edmund Shabazian versus Gerald Meerschaert. I did pick Edmund in the fight, although I wouldn't be too shocked if Gerald subs him at some point. From Edmund making a dumb mistake. But I think Shabazian is quicker. I think he's a way better striker, and I think he is a good enough grappler to defend some of the takedowns, kind of wait till Gerald wears out. But both of them do tend to wear out a bit in fights. But I do think Edmund should be the quicker, more athletic striker, and I think he'll get it done. But I did go over 1.5 rounds at minus 115 because Edmund is favored to win by KO. I think it's like it might be minus 115, Edmund to win by KO or something like that, which is crazy to me. But I think this one could also go all 3 rounds. If Gerald moves forward and really tries to clinch and grapple, I could see this going to a decision where, both guys are kind of have to work to get what they want to do done. So I did go over 1.5 rounds at minus 115 for this fight. So yeah. Next one, Michael Morales to win by decision at minus 120. This one's a bit risky because Neil Magny has been prone to getting TKO'd with leg kicks, and he has been finished before. But you know what? The way Morales has been fighting recently, and especially with this matchup, I do think this one's going to go to a decision. I think Morales is going to kind of chop his legs up and pick him apart on the feet, defend the takedowns, avoid the clinch. And I think Michael Morales is going to win a decision. Minus 120. Again, it is a bit risky, but I'd rather, risk throwing Morales by decision at minus 120 than just picking a money line at minus 800 because I'm trying to get some value here. So, yeah, Morales by decision. Next one is also a bit risky. That's Angela Hill to win by decision. The safe one would be go decision either way on this one. But again, I'm looking for value. And I feel like Angela Hill as a slight underdog to win by decision is probably, it's an okay pick, but it is risky, because I think this fight's going to be close. It's probably going to be a split decision, and it's probably going to be controversial either way. That's what I'm guessing heading into this fight. But I'm going to go with Angela Hill by decision. Ricci's got the clinch. She's got that judo. She's got those throws. But I don't know if her ground control is good enough to really just dominate Angela Hill on the ground. I see Angela Hill getting back up and stuffing some takedowns and then kind of piecing her up on the feet and getting a decision. It is risky. The safest thing to do would be decision either way, but I'm looking for value. So fuck it. I'm going to go Angela Hill by decision at plus 120. Next one is Robert Valentin Frey, minus 180. Again, this one's tough. I said it in my breakdown. When you get two guys that are pretty much the same in terms of experience and their record and whatnot, it's kind of a crapshoot, especially in their debuts. They're both making their debut in the UFC. So you got to pick a side, and the over-unders for rounds aren't up for this one yet. So, I mean, I would probably just do over 1.5. But since it's not up, I'm going to make this parlay, so fuck it. I just picked Robert Valentin Frey at minus 180. So hopefully he gets it done. Again, not much confidence in this fight either way. The next one, this was a new fight, a new addition, which was Nathan Fletcher versus, let's see if we can pronounce this guy's name. Zygmantas Ramaska. Now, I did watch some fight tape on both of these guys, and at first I was leaning towards the underdog in Ramaska, but I watched some more fights, and I feel like Nathan Fletcher is a way better grappler, and I just feel like Ramaska gets taken down way too easily and controlled on the ground. He does have that, long, rangy, wiry power, for I think this is at 145 for the division. He is lanky, he's wiry, and he's got that kind of wiry power, punching power. He's got some subs too, but the sub I saw from him, he won by guillotine, and he was kind of losing that fight. He was getting taken down, and he just kind of wrapped up a guillotine when the guy took a shitty shot and was tired and got caught. But before that, I didn't like what I was seeing. He was getting taken down pretty much at will. Every time the guy shot in, he got the takedown on Ramaska. So, and I saw that in a couple of fights. It wasn't just that one fight. And that worries me in this one because Nathan Fletcher, I watched his fights, and every time someone pressures him on the feet, his response is basically to go to the grappling and level change. And while he's not the best, wrestler, like he's not going to shoot in and just drive through you, he does have pretty decent level changes and timing on his shots, and he will attempt those takedowns. And on the feet, he's also a decent striker. He has a nice jab. He moves well. He does get caught with some low kicks, but Ramaska is not like the most powerful kicker. He will throw kicks. He throws them out there for sure, but he's not like he's not like one of those guys that just chops at the legs, at least from what I've seen. So I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. So yeah, I'm going to go Nathan Fletcher. I could see him getting a submission maybe at some point, but probably decision. I think the wrestling is going to be a key factor here in the ground control time. So I'm going to go with Nathan Fletcher in this one at minus 162. The next one is Cavalcante versus Josiane Nunes to go to a decision either way at minus 225. I don't know who's going to win this fight. I kind of picked Nunes just because of her aggression. But again, like I said in my original picks video, she's not a real bantamweight. She should not be fighting at bantamweight. She is very undersized. So even if she is a better striker or she's overall a more skilled fighter, you know what I mean? Some of these girls are just going to be able to kind of hold her against the fence and then take her down and lay on top of her. And she won't be able to get back up because she's 5'2" and she's too damn small for 135. So I'm going decision either way. I don't see a finish happening in this one. I did pick Josiane Nunes, but not very confidently. So yeah, decision either way on this one. Next one was another short notice replacement. Francis Marshall stepped in for Danny Silva against Dennis Bazooka. I'm actually kind of surprised Francis Marshall is the slight favorite as of right now. And I am still going. I picked Dennis Bazooka against Danny Silva, but I'm picking him in this one again against Francis Marshall. Both of these guys are kind of low-level UFC, barely hanging on. I like Dennis Bazooka at plus money in this one, and so I'm going with him probably by decision. Not much of a breakdown on it, but yeah, I'm going Dennis Bazooka at plus 124. And then to finish it off, we got the main event. I'm going Cal Borralho. I just rewatched the Paul Craig fight, and I'll be honest with you, I'm less confident in Cal than I was before. Because I'll be honest, in that Paul Craig fight I watched, his striking didn't impress me as much as I remember it. You know, he was getting kind of kicked up, you know, a bit to the body, to the arms, to the leg. Paul Craig was kicking him a bit. Cal was tagging him with some punches, some straight punches, but I didn't like the way he was leaping in with that hook, and he kind of did get sloppy at some point in the fight. But Jared Cannonier, I feel like he's probably going to be a little more patient against him. I can kind of get why he got a little, sloppy against Paul Craig, because Paul Craig is not a good striker, and he doesn't move his head at all. So, and he's also not the greatest wrestling threat. Like, he's got some takedowns. He took Cal down like very, very briefly early in the fight, but Cal popped right back up to his feet. And Cal is a good grappler. I think he is a better grappler than Jared Cannonier, and I think that is something he can look for in the fight as the fight goes on, maybe if it extends to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds. But I'm not as confident in him as I was before. I'll be honest. Cannonier at plus money is tempting, but he's 41 years old. How much longer can he maintain where he's at? And he is way more experienced. I mean, he fought and beat Strickland. He fought Izzy. He's seen the top of the division. But I have a feeling Cal's going to kind of just outpoint him and outwork him and use volume and eventually get the takedowns and probably win a decision against them. So I'm going Cal. But Cannonier's not the worst underdog. He's not the worst underdog. So yeah, that's my long shot parlay for DraftKings for this week. Just looking at this, I think the riskiest picks in here are probably Michael Morales by decision and Angela Hill to win by decision. And maybe Kong Wang, to be honest, just because she's only 5-0, and like I said, these strikers sometimes they fucking suck at grappling, and they fight these regional cans where they just fucking beat them up on the feet because they can't grapple, and they have a lot of hype, because of their success in striking. And I know that Victoria is not a great UFC fighter, but if she can grapple, just even a little bit, and Kong Wang sucks, there's a world where Victoria could win that fight. So that is a risky pick, especially, because she's minus 1,200, which again is fucking insane. She should be probably at best like minus 350, 400. So it is what it is. This is my long shot parlay. I'll probably make some more videos just on general MMA news and certain topics and fights going forward, just because I feel like, these once a week videos and then maybe like a recap, I don't know, I just feel like it's not enough. So I am going to pump out a little more videos. So we'll see, but this is my long shot parlay. Just a quick video this time. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys next time, motherfucker.